Hey, Ben, my name is Kristen, and I
Kristen,
have
what's
three
on your mind?
questions about the Jill Stein stuff that you were doing.
Go for it.
Just the first question I had is you were talking about Obama a little bit earlier, and what else did we expect him to do?
Hmm.
And I'd like to know what your take is on Jill Stein with regards to opportunism, and what else did you expect her to do? Because I think there's a constructive answer to that, but I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. What's your other two
Um,
questions? Go ahead.
the 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 second question is again a parallel question. Uh, I feel like the comparison that you're making with regards to her being opportunistic is fair. But if I paralleled, I'd say there's CNN and there's Fox, and we can't expect your show to be CNN and Fox instantly, right?
Hmm.
You do things to improve and to take that market share and to show your audience that you have something. And the Green Party has tried to do that with things like getting former Democratic Congressman Cynthia McKinney to be their presidential candidate in 2008, and so on. So they've been working, but it takes time. And so I'm wondering if you see any sort of parallels or reasons to maybe cut them some slack as to how long it takes to actually challenge the two-party system.
Hmm. Go ahead. And the third question.
Uh, I don't think I remember the third question anymore, so that's fine.
Well, if it comes to you, just let me know. Okay.
Okay.
So your first question, what else would I expect Jill Stein to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, because I think I actually said that I get it. That's the political play that she wanted to have. But to me, that undermined Bernie Sanders in the midst of her feigning love for Bernie Sanders. And that's the problem
Oh,
I
I
had
agree
with it.
entirely. Yeah.
It's
I
kind of
even,
like you just
yeah,
sit back
I
and collect you're benefiting off of his failings. And that's why I expressly don't want Bernie Sanders to run with Jill Stein, because she benefited off of his failure. And to me, that's just a moral conundrum that I can't walk into.
okay.
Go ahead. You sound like you're about to say something. Go ahead.
I was going to say I agree with you entirely. In fact, even being a former Jill Stein voter, I tweeted at her during the campaign, during the primary season, to say, basically, like, in a nice way, can you cool it till July? You know?
Yeah.
And I understand exactly where you're coming from. That said, I figured if we're going to give, you know, you don't want Bernie to go with Jill Stein, then the alternative is going with Hillary Clinton. And if Jill Stein's crime is that she was opportunistic for a progressive cause, and Hillary Clinton's crime is Iraq and Haiti and Honduras and Libya, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'll take opportunistic for the progressive cause.
Right. Well, in terms of character judgment between there's no character judgment between Hillary Clinton and a Jill Stein, right? So we're not making that comparison, right? Because there's no comparison to be made, right? In terms of just the clear question of why am I, they ask why am I opposed to Hillary Clinton, to Bernie Sanders teaming up with Jill Stein, is because Jill Stein has benefited from the failings of Bernie Sanders. Clear cut. Now, what else could she have done? I'm not a part of that campaign, but I'm sure there were some other strategies that she could have employed that would not have been, and I'm sure it's fine for a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters who are okay with that. So maybe her strategy is perfect, but for me, it's
I'm
a
not okay
complete
with
turn
it. It's
off.
just not as, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
not
complete
as
turn.
bad as the alternative, I think.
Well, so the alternative
Because, of
is.
course, the Democratic Party was opportunistic as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, across the board, right? No, I mean, it's politics, right? That's what politicians do.
yeah.
But in terms of the
Sure.
alternative for Bernie Sanders, and by Bernie Sanders, I'm talking as he is a proxy for the progressive movement. He is a rallying focal point of the progressive movement. I would not want to see him relinquish the power and position that he can obtain for progressivism just to run with the Green Party, because He won't win with the Green Party. He would split the Democratic ticket, and unless there's a Libertarian Party on the other side, then it's a surefire win for Donald Trump, right? But if there's a fourth party involved, then I'll take back everything else I'll say. And I'm like, hell, go with the Green Party. Let's get a 4-party race going. All cards are on the table. I don't care how it falls. Let's just break that 2-party system paradigm, right? But having a 3-party race, a 3-party race really just advantages one of the 2 major parties. And that kind of undermines the whole purpose of the Libertarian Party and the Green Party. Your second question was give the Green Party time. Here's the thing, and here's a great comparison. You said my show compared to like Fox News, it just takes time. CNN and Fox. Here's the thing. My show is capitalizing on so many innovations. I am able to do so many more things with one person, just me, than any show on Fox News, right? You know, I'm able to pull off things by myself because of the technologies that I leverage, because of the skill set that I leverage, and I'm just seizing the moment to do this. Now, likewise, I'm more flexible and can do things quicker than Fox News, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Think of it as a small business. A small business cannot get into a big market trying to compete with big markets, compete the same way that big enterprises who are already capitalizing on the market share, right? They have to come in and be a disruptive tech and use disruptive policies, technologies, and strategies, right? They have to come in and disrupt the game. I don't see the Green Party being disruptive in terms of their approach. They're not leveraging anything new. They're not leveraging anything different. They're really just coming in using the same political playbook that we've seen for so many years that the Democrats and the Republicans have mastered. They've mastered the art of keeping this a 2-party system. And unless a party comes along that is disruptive with either technology or strategies that we've never seen, then we're really just kind of twiddling our thumbs. And I feel like in a lot of ways we have parties who are small enough to be disruptive if they think innovatively. And you have to be inside of the party and actually see the current strategies to actually come up with that disruptive strategy. So I'm not in a position to say this is what they should do, A, B, and C. What I am in a position to say is I don't see them coming to the game like a disruptive small company would. And you take a small business, they can't compete with Google the same way Google competes. No, they have to come with a new technology, a new strategy, a new approach, and I just don't see that yet from the Green Party.
Okay, I think that's fair. I remember the third question now.
Okay, go for the third question.
It was about Bernie Sanders spending his political clout and how you were kind of talking about, you didn't use these exact words, about him getting closed out if he went green because he wouldn't be a Democrat anymore. Mm-hmm. Of course, he would probably lose his chairmanship on the Veteran Services Committee.
Yep.
But as far as changing his popularity in Vermont, I don't know that it would drastically hurt his popularity in Vermont. I think he would still be a senator and still have a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
I agree with you that he's not going to do it, first of all. I think the way that he endorsed Bill Clinton in 92 and 96, he came out and said, I endorse. And then he didn't say anything else about it. And I think that's what he's going to do again. And he's going to do it much later. Yeah. But if he hypothetically, since we're talking about were to go green, which again I don't think he's going to do, I only think it would spend a certain amount of his political clout, and there might be a payoff in that, it really allows him to stand out as a distinct voice and maybe have a tiny little wedge on the two-party system.
Here's where the disruptive
he's not going anywhere in Vermont.
No, he's not. And I'm gonna make sure that Algie or whatever his name is. You're welcome on the show anytime, Al. Come on and let's talk about your campaign against Bernie Sanders in Vermont. So anyway, I really want him to come on.
That's right.
But here's where
I know you're talking about that guy.
Yeah, here's where the Green Party could have been a complete disruptive force, and they missed the opportunity. They could have looked at the game and said, this is baked in favor of Hillary Clinton. Odds are Bernie Sanders will never win. But if we throw everything that we have behind someone like Bernie Sanders to help him win, which he probably won't, then he has a loyalty to us that can be expected to be cashed in on. So we could say, Bernie Sanders, in this primary, we did everything we could to push you over the top. We encouraged all of our vote. Now, is this completely against party practices? Yes. But you cannot beat the Democratic Party using standard party tactics. It has to be something disruptive. Yeah. And imagine an organization. Now, it isn't as large as Bernie Sanders' national campaign organization. However, it could have been galvanizing. It could have put some fear in the hearts of the Democrats. And Bernie Sanders likely still would have lost, but they could have cashed in and said, Bernie Sanders, we had your back this entire time. Now come over here and do something with us and have our back. That's a disruptive approach. Right. That breaks every rule. Right. And you cannot beat this two-party system playing by their rules. You got to break the rules. And that's where I think they lost an opportunity. And listen, thanks a lot for the call, because most of the time callers actually help me solidify my thinking even more. And you did exactly that. You helped me flesh that out even better for the audience. So what's your name again?
My name is Kristen. Thank you so much, Ben, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you for the question. You had a great set of questions there. All right, folks.
Thanks so much.
This time I'm going for real. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Have a good night.